Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center, man. As you can see by the title, man, I'm coming at y'all with a Jake Paul video. Now, normally this is something I don't touch on. You know what I mean? Like every time people be like, man, you gonna watch the, like, even with the Mike Tyson situation, I had a lot of people coming up to me like, Rob, you gonna watch the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul? I was like, nah, but I was like, salute to both of them. You know what I mean? Because I like real boxing. You know, I don't like the celebrity boxing stuff like that. You know what I mean? I like actual real boxing when you get, Tank versus Garcia, Crawford versus Spence, like the real boxing. So, excuse me, I just got done eating. So, Jake Paul made a tweet. And I don't know if this tweet was yesterday or the day before. But I couldn't just not say nothing to it. I was like, you know what? I've been passing on this debate. Let me actually have this debate, right? Now, I will say this, starting off the TOP, I'm gonna get this straight off, right? I have been very I would say respectable of Jake Paul at the end of the day because I respect his grind. I respect the work that he putting in terms of, taking the boxing serious. And like I always tell people be talking noise about Jake, but I be like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. You put Jake, half of y'all that's saying this about Jake can't whoop Jake. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Regardless if he fighting MMA guys or not, he's still getting in the ring with certified killers. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you got to give the man some type of respect. So, salute to him. You know what I mean? And I respect the Paul's brothers come up, just how they grinded from behind and what they have done with themselves. So that's a big salute. But, you know what I mean? Like, I'm real sensitive when it comes to, my sports, boxing, football, stuff like that, right? So he said something about he want to be in the next Olympics because he's tired of, U.S. not having gold or something like that. So I was like, you know what? At first I was sparing him. I was like, man, I gotta go through here and I gotta respond to that. So this is what I did. I made a list of just a few people. Now I'm not quite sure if this everybody that Jake has fought, but I made a list of a few people, the ones that I pretty much knew for the most part. So first, we're gonna go with, and this is not in no specific order, right? And out of all these fights, Jake only lost one, right? So I got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 fights on here. So within these opponents, that's Jake being 7-1. So we're gonna go with the first one being Nate Diaz, is an MMA guy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna touch on the MMA guy thing after that. So you got Nate Diaz, which is an MMA guy. Obviously, that resulted in a W for Jake. You got Tyron Woodley, who also is an MMA guy. Obviously, that resulted in a W for Jake Paul. Then you got a guy named Anson Gill, a YouTuber, alleged boxing background. You can put boxing background on anybody, but I bet you when you see them actually fighting, you like this is a boxing background. So obviously that resulted in a W for him. Then you had Nate Robinson, a 5'9" NBA player, like that resulted obviously in a W for him. Then you had his hardest fight was Tommy Fury, which is Tyson Fury's half brother. Now check this out. I'm not quite sure how good Tommy Fury is in terms of fighting that actual competition. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, knowing what I know about boxing and knowing what I know about Jake and how, Jake, because Jake, here's the thing. Jake is like the kid that when he got rich, you want to be like, when you look at some of these rappers, right? You look at someone like T.I.'s son, you look at Boosie's son. It's like you get rich, you got rich and you decide you want to be gangster. Like that's taking steps backwards. And that's where I look at like with Jake's, like you got rich and you got the opportunity. Now you want to come play boxing when boxing is not nothing that you play if you're trying to do it to that magnitude. And that's the reason why a lot of times I never really said anything about Jake because I didn't look at Jake as taking this serious in terms of saying, oh, I want to fight competition. I want to fight guys like, Canelo, the Charlo brothers, Terrence Crawford. Obviously, I didn't look at him like that, but when he made this statement, I was like, I got to go ahead and entertain him. So he actually lost that fight to Tommy Fury. But like I was saying, I wonder where does Tommy Fury stack out opposed to actual competition in boxing? You know what I mean? So then we got Ben Askren, MMA guy. Obviously, he won that. Anderson Silva, MMA guy. Obviously, he won that. And a guy named Andre August, who is allegedly a boxer, who came into the fight 10-1-1. And obviously, I guess he went 10-2-1. So it's like you got two somewhat boxers, but I don't think that they're credible, legit boxers. Like, I don't know the amateur record. I don't know the, professional record. You know what I mean? I've never really heard of any of these guys. You know what I mean? So it's like, how good are you really? You know what I mean? Because I feel like anybody who is really legit or really like that, they're not going to entertain the possibility with a Jake fight unless they want to pay that. Younger people are trying to get to winning a championship. You're not going to get nowhere closer to winning a championship with Jake Paul. Actually, as a boxer or a fighter, period, you got more to lose than you got to gain. Because if you get in the ring and you win and beat the hell out of them, you ain't gonna get no credit for that. Because everybody gonna be like, man, you posted one. That's a YouTuber. Now, if you get in there and get your ass whooped, people gonna, now you're gonna be looked down. People gonna be like, you really lost to a YouTuber. You know what I mean? So, but then if you look at, some people might say, okay, Nate Diaz was a good striker in MMA, UFC. They might say that Anderson Silva, obviously, who was a good striker. But let me run some down to you guys, right? For you guys who don't know, and for you guys who think that Jake Paul is a legit boxer that can actually compete in the Olympics, for those who don't know, for one, how long does Jake Paul rounds be? And how many rounds does it be? A boxing fight, what, 12 rounds? You gotta ask yourself that, right? So, also, when you're going against MMA guys, MMA is completely different from boxing because it's not just this. In MMA, you got this, you got this, you got this that can be used, you got your knees that can be used, you got your legs that can be used, you got your shoulders that can, so it's so many different things to defend. So if you look at a traditional boxing stance is not going to work. I'm going to give y'all guys a prime example for those who may not know. Go look at the Conor McGregor fight, the second fight when he came back and fought Dustin Poirier. And look at how Conor had more of a boxing stance, and look at how Dustin Poirier tore that lead leg up with them calf kicks because you got it out there. Now, let's just say if you're not going up against a guy like Dustin, and it's MMA, UFC, right? You got your leg out there, and you're going up against a Khabib, single leg takedown. It's so everything in terms of it is different. When you look at boxing, right? How many UFC fighters know how to slip punches? How many of them know how to slip punches? How many of them know how to do that? How many of them know how to catch punches like that? Like, it's completely different, and it's not no knock to them because they have so much to worry about other than just this. So obviously, if you take a guy like, some people say, well, they're professional fighters. I mean, okay, it's a difference. You know what I mean? If you take a legit MMA fight, take the best. Who you would say the best? We'll say John Jones. You take John Jones and put him in the ring with Anthony Joshua, and all they are doing is striking. Anthony Joshua is going to beat the hell out of John Jones. You take Anthony Joshua and put him in the octagon, and John Jones can grab and do what he want to do, John Jones is going to beat the hell out of him. So it's levels to this. So if you take a guy who has boxing credibility, who has boxing training, you look at Jake, Jake know how to throw a jab. Jake know how to turn his hands over. Jake know how to slip for the most part. Jake know how to do all those things. He know how to, so it's completely different. MMA guys, all they can do is, they know how to punch, obviously, but then they don't really know how to put them together when all they can do. Like, you got to think, like, with boxing, it's like a lot of, it's a lot of feints and stuff like that. So it's completely different. It's not, I wouldn't say it's foreign to them because they do know striking, but I'm just saying if all they can use, to me, that's not a credible win because you're taking them away from their natural element, from what they are, who they are. That makes them them. So if they can't grab, if they can't elbow, if they can't kick, they can't knee, you know what I mean? When you got all those factors playing against you, it makes it a lot easier for you to have available places to strike. Because if a person got to defend leg kicks, a person got to defend the takedown, it leaves you subject to stuff, my bad, I need to stop cussing, but to stuff up top because you're so worried about a lot of other things. If you look at a prime example, look at the Khabib and Conor McGregor fight. Now, we all know that Khabib is one of the best grapplers in UFC history, right? Look at when, I think it was, what was it, first round, second round, when Khabib faked like he was going for a takedown. And what did Conor McGregor do? Drop his hands to try to defend, and as soon as he dropped his hands, Khabib come up top with an overhand right, boom, sat him down because he was anticipating that. You see what I'm saying? But if Khabib can't fake, a shoot, that shot is not there. You know what I mean? So that's all that I'm saying. But Jay, you're going to have to fight some legit competition for me, baby. You're going to have to go spend some time in amateur because there's no way that you skip the amateurs and go straight to the pros and think that you can go in there and bang with pros. I don't give a damn what Tommy Fury is. I don't give a damn what they say about Andre August. I'm talking about the legit competitors. I mean, let's just be honest, bro. You ain't doing it. You know what I mean? But that's just my take on that. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Let me know that y'all think that he's legit, and it's up to you. You can think that, you know what I mean? And if do you think that he is, cherry picking, like they say about Mayweather, they said about Canelo cherry picking, same thing Jake Paul doing. And his cherry picking is way worse because these guys that don't even box, that's not boxers, you know what I mean? But As you can see, that is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that post notification bell where you be notified on all things Rob Sports Center. Because just like I always say in each and every video, which is facts, you can go back and look. Just like Drake, like the GOAT Drizzy Drake say, man, I got these videos coming back to back, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out this thing. Peace.